You've been feeling it, haven't you? That unshakable pressure in the spirit. You wake up tired, your heart feels heavy, and the weight of the unseen keeps pushing down on you. You've been smiling in public but crying in private. You've been faithful, yet frustrated, obedient, yet overwhelmed. You've said yes to God, but now you're questioning what that yes cost you. Let me tell you something right now. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You're not being rejected. You're being refined. You're not under attack because you're weak. You're under attack because you're dangerous. The truth is, when you are chosen, hell doesn't wait until you're successful to come after you. It comes while you're still building, still healing, still figuring it out, because if it can sabotage your process, it can prevent your promise. That's why the attacks didn't wait for you to be ready. That's why they came when you were vulnerable, when you were just learning how to pray with power, just learning how to hear God clearly, just learning how to trust again. But can I tell you something deeper? The attack was never really about you. It was about what's inside you, the seed of purpose, the mantle of fire, the oil that was hidden in your wounds. See, Satan isn't afraid of who you are right now. He's terrified of who you're about to become. That's why he hit you in childhood. That's why the family trauma was so deep. That's why the betrayal came from people you would have died for. He wanted to shatter your identity before it could fully form. But listen to me and hear me clearly. He failed. Because here you are, bruised but breathing, shaken but standing, confused but called. You've been through fires that should have consumed you, but God used them to consecrate you. You've walked through valleys so dark people thought you wouldn't come out. But God was there, hiding you in the shadow of his wings, whispering, "Not yet. I'm still preparing them." Preparation is uncomfortable. It will feel like isolation. It will feel like abandonment. But it's really preservation. You weren't rejected. You were rescued. You weren't forgotten. You were hidden for a reason. Because when God gets ready to reveal a chosen one, he doesn't do it casually. He doesn't do it halfway. He doesn't do it without fire. Fire to purify, fire to reveal, fire to separate the flesh from the calling. And right now, if you've been sensing more warfare than usual, more pressure than ever, more closed doors, more random breakdowns, more spiritual exhaustion, then listen. You are in the middle of the unveiling. This is the final push before the promise. This is spiritual labor. This is the breaking point that leads to breakthrough. Do not be surprised when the enemy pulls out old weapons, old trauma, old sins, old versions of yourself you thought you buried. He's not doing it because he's creative. He's doing it because he's desperate. Desperate to distract you, desperate to make you question the anointing you carry, desperate to convince you you're not who God says you are, but you are. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are called for such a time as this. There's a reason you couldn't quit, even when quitting looked easier. There's a reason your name keeps getting called out in the Spirit. You've been marked for glory. Your survival is the testimony. And hear me. Your healing will not only change your life, it will break the chains off of generations. You're not just fighting for you, you're fighting for your children, for the ones watching you silently, for the bloodline behind you that didn't have your strength, for the future you haven't even seen yet. Every no you've said to the world has been a yes to the will of God. Every boundary you've set, every habit you've broken, every prayer you've cried through, it all mattered. You thought you were losing, but you were winning in a realm you couldn't see. You thought you were being delayed, but God was working in the background, orchestrating divine alignment. Chosen one. Now is not the time to be silent. Now is not the time to shrink back. Now is not the time to doubt. This is the hour to rise, to roar, to stand flat-footed and declare, "No weapon formed against me will prosper. I was born for this." And I'm talking to the one who's tired right now, the one who's been waiting on a sign, the one who said, "God, if this is really you, confirm it. This is your confirmation. You didn't miss it. You didn't mess it up. You're right on time. What's coming is bigger than the warfare. What's coming is going to silence every lie spoken against you. What's coming will redeem the years of pain, confusion, and rejection. Let the tears fall. Let your worship be wild. Let your praise be raw, because this next move of God is personal. He's not just doing it for you. He's doing it through you, and eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of man what God is about to reveal in you. If this word hit your spirit, I want you to drop it in the comments. I'm chosen, I'm rising, and I'm built for the breakthrough. This is Sugar Bytes News, where faith meets fire and revival is not a moment, it's a lifestyle. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what heaven is releasing next. Team Jesus, let's ride.